Eye News at 6.
Eagle Eye TV has done a great job.
And welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6.
We are just having a great time here in Auburn, Alabama. The party is not over yet.
Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Allison Thomas.
And I'm Jonny Koeninger. Thank you for joining us.
On Saturday, Auburn defeated South Alabama 31-15 for homecoming. Congratulations to Mallory Holland on being this year's Miss Homecoming. Eagle Eye's Lucas Hazelrig took the time last week to meet with all of the candidates for Miss Homecoming and ask about what makes homecoming at Auburn so special.
Homecoming week is here and campaigns are underway. 5 candidates representing different organizations all over campus are competing for the title of Miss Auburn. Miss Auburn will be crowned during halftime of this weekend's football game against the South Alabama Jaguars, and the journey to that prestigious title is no walk in the park.
There are few things that get a college campus buzzing quite like homecoming week does. The Auburn homecoming festivities began back in 1934 when Miss Julia Pace from Anniston, Alabama took home the title. Her legacy has continued for a near century, with candidates Ashley May, Mallory Holland, Abby Grace Stevens, Kaylee LaPlante, and Julia Wright looking to take home the prestigious ODK Miss Homecoming Award and Silver Bowl. These women, working with purpose and passion, have a drive to make Auburn a better place. And if you ask candidate Ashley May, she'll tell you that may be easier than you think.
One thing that I would really want voters to take away about my mission at Auburn is to just see the importance of those mundane moments. Yes, like in 50 years, we're going to be talking about that Iron Bowl win or hearing your name get called out at call-outs, and those things are so awesome. But it's really those small things, those walks to class, conversations on the concourse, those group projects in class that are building us into those Auburn men and women that we will be 50, 60 years from now. It's really just such a privilege that we have to get to go to this university, and just encouraging students to take every day and every little thing and just see the growth and importance in it.
A big part of homecoming week is the campaign t-shirt reveal. All 5 parties gathered on Cater Lawn on Tuesday to rep their colors and kick off the friendly competition by listening to their candidates give a quick speech. Abby Grace Stevens made her mission clear at the event, and that is to teach the Auburn student body to love Auburn and embrace the traditions that we have here. She believes in a sense of belonging here on campus and wants those around her to feel that same love and joy that she has for the Plains.
I'm so honored and humbled to be a top 5 Miss Homecoming candidate. I guess when they say if you love Auburn, it'll love you back. I didn't know it would love me back this much.
Kaylee LaPlante's mission is about helping Auburn students become the best version of themselves. She is specifically focused on helping freshmen, transfer students, and graduating seniors get kick-started in the process of feeling like a member of their community in the Auburn family.
We have been so happy to do this all together. And our mission, just kind of for this week, honestly, is just to exalt the Lord through a homecoming campaign. And we can do that by being really kind to one another and supporting the other candidates, really listening to them and being supportive of one another on the concourse. And I really just hope that you'll have fun.
Julia Wright's mission is all about mental health awareness. She wants students to know that regardless of what life throws our way, there's always a reason to push forward.
Everyone has had a rough day and everyone is going through something, and I just want to encourage you that you are not alone, and together we will be all right.
Finally, kindness is something that we could all use a little bit more of, and Mallory Holland knows that. She's using her platform to help students feel welcome at Auburn and make this place their home away from home, just like she has.
I love to use the phrase that people aren't going to remember what you did, what positions you had, what accomplishments you did. However, they will remember how you made them feel. So making sure that I live my life every single day with the outlook on how can I help others and how can I make them feel loved and seen here at Auburn.
Don't forget to use your voice to vote for your Miss Auburn this week, and for more updates on the competition, head over to eagleeyeauburn.com.
For Eagle Eye TV, I'm Lucas Hazelrig.
Congratulations to all the nominees and especially to Mallory Holland for being this year's Miss Homecoming.
Over 700 different organizations on AU involved, it may be a little disorienting to try and find a club that works for you. Luckily for those of you with an interest in filmmaking, Eagle Eye's Morgan Sims visited the New Media Club here at Auburn to highlight what makes their club unique.
Do you think you have what it takes to make your own film? Well, the New Media Group at Auburn University has you covered. About 40 members of the New Media Club gathered in the Mell Library to participate in a film challenge, organized by President Rachel Hu.
This is the New Media Club at Auburn University, and we are a filmmaking club, so we mainly prioritize video making and learning the ins and outs and behind the scenes of filmmaking.
Through weeks and weeks of preparation, the club's end goal is to produce a short film for the Spring Film Festival.
So we are the hosts and participants of the Auburn Indie Film Festival, which is when we invite different colleges and high schools to submit short films for our review, and then we get to show them all at a big event, and it's very fun.
As the new media club has existed for years, the main goal for the members is to encourage more student involvement.
This club is open to everybody, and everybody can come in and have something to take away from it. It's not only for film majors, it's not only for people that have expertise in the field, it's for people that want to come in and collaborate with other people creatively.
For more information about new media, check them out on AU Involve. And for Eagle Eye News, I'm Morgan Sims.
For more information, you can visit their page on AU Involve to sign up and get more details.
The Auburn community is stunned after a retired Auburn professor was murdered in broad daylight at Kiesel Park Saturday morning. 59-year-old Julie Gard-Schnelly was walking her dog in the park early Saturday morning when she was attacked. After discovering her body, the Auburn Police Department recovered a stolen red F-150 truck near the crime scene. Auburn police on Sunday arrested Harold Rashad Dabney III and charged him with 2 counts of capital murder. Dr. Schnelly was a beloved veterinarian educator and researcher who worked as a professor emerita in the Department of Clinical Services at the College of Veterinary Medicine. She was known for her compassion and devotion to mentoring future veterinarians.
Did you know Auburn has a real dinosaur egg on display? If not, the Auburn Natural History Museum has you covered. Morgan Sims reports on the Auburn Natural History Museum and what to expect.
Our goal is to study and disseminate information on the biodiversity that we find here in Alabama and throughout the world.
That was David Laurencio, the staff curator for tetrapods at the Auburn University Natural History Museum. The museum has existed for 12 and a half years, and their goal is to become more accessible and well known to the public. At their open house, they showcase over 2.5 million specimens they have collected over the years, while also offering interactive displays for an immersive experience. This is a 2-story museum located in the Biodiversity Learning Center, with another exhibit in a neighboring building with a real dinosaur egg and embryo on display. Many people at the open house wonder, where do they get these artifacts? The Auburn Natural History Museum actually collects fossils and historical specimens that are discovered by members of the Auburn community. This includes everything from plants, fungi, vertebrae, insects, fish, amphibians, and more.
You see the Smithsonian, you see what they want to show you, but here we actually have all the specimens that back up a museum like the Smithsonian.
The museum looks to open a live animal exhibit in the following year. And for Eagle Eye News, I'm Morgan Sims.
The Auburn Natural History Museum actually holds tours for the public on every first Wednesday of the month.
As students explore downtown Auburn, you may notice a new traffic pattern at the intersection of College and Magnolia Street. The city of Auburn is testing out a new X crossing pattern for civilians. So Eagle Eye's Brett Fouts went to Toomer's Corner to gauge public opinion on the new traffic pattern.
As many students are coming back to Auburn, some are wondering what's happening around campus, what all happened while they were gone. Well, one of the big changes that came to Auburn this summer is this new X crossing implementation here at Toomer's Corner.
The X crossing is a traffic pattern where all vehicles stop at an intersection while pedestrians cross from all directions, even diagonally. It's being implemented here after seeing success in other high pedestrian traffic areas like downtown Nashville. A pedestrian crossing only activates when the crossing button is pushed.
I really enjoy it as a pedestrian point of view. I think it's great when timing works out for you and you're able to cross at any crosswalk. Previously, I think that the crosswalks were a little bit short and it just didn't give you enough time to get across, maybe if you were a couple seconds too late.
I decided to test out the X crossing myself and asked a fellow Auburn student some of her thoughts on the new system while doing so.
What is your overall opinion of this new crossing system here at Auburn?
I love it. I think it makes it so much more convenient to get to places. It takes so much less time than waiting for each individual side.
What would you say is the biggest pro and the biggest con of this new system versus the last one?
I would just say time because, it takes so long to wait for like the lights to change for each side. You could walk across the street and then have to wait another 5 minutes to cross the other way. I think it's so much easier just to cut across.
Reviews seem to be fairly mixed, but mostly positive for the new X crossing here at Toomer's Corner. For Eagle Eye TV, I'm Brett Fouts.
I personally think the new system is much more efficient. When we come back, you'll get a weather update from Eagle Eye's Gavin Dimit and Eye on the Hill with Jalen Walker. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Hi, I'm Gavin Dimit. Welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6, and here's our weather outlook for this week on the plains. As you can see, in the first half of the week, the temperatures will rise to 84 degrees while dropping to as low as 63 degrees. There will be generally sunny skies this entire week. On the second half of the week, clear skies will consistently continue with the highs up to around 87 degrees and the lows down to around 67 degrees. The lows look to drop even lower when we get further into September. This weekend, the pretty weather continues. There will likely not be a cloud in sight, and the temperatures will be around 80 degrees. Even though there isn't a home game, it's the perfect weather to be outside. When we come back, we'll have a political update from Jalen.
Good evening. I'm Jalen Walker with tonight's Eye on the Hill. The country is still in shock 5 days after the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk at a speaking event on the campus of Utah Valley University. President Trump announced his death on Truth Social, saying that nobody had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie.
That's the big question that's been on everyone's
Vice President Vance also echoed that sentiment, hosting the Charlie Kirk Show today. Vance said, "I would not be VP without Charlie." Kirk's funeral is planned for Sunday, September 21st at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The Missouri Senate passed a new congressional map, which looks to give Republicans a 7-1 advantage by breaking up a Kansas City-based district held by Democrat Emanuel Cleaver. Governor Mike Kehoe is expected to sign the bill. Opponents of the new maps want to bring the matter to voters with a special referendum. They have 90 days after the map is signed into law to collect signatures needed to force a statewide vote. Legal challenges are expected. Over on Capitol Hill, the Senate changed Senate rules on a 53-43 party line vote called the nuclear option to speed up the confirmation of President Trump's judicial nominees that have been slowed down by Democratic opposition. Republicans have accused Democrats for months of slow-walking virtually all of Trump's nominees. The rule change will apply only to executive branch civilian nominees and not judicial nominees. Actual confirmation under the new rules won't take place until next week. Finally, tonight, the governor is just about 2 weeks away from shutting down, and Congress is no closer to a deal. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says that his caucus won't vote to fund the government unless protections for health care are included. GOP leaders want to keep the government open through November 20th. The White House is pushing for a longer extension into January. The September 30th deadline is complicated by House recess for the Jewish holidays. That's all we have for Eye on the Hill tonight. When we come back, you'll get a national news update from Allison and Jonny. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. The Utah jail holding the suspected shooter of Charlie Kirk is keeping a special watch on him. The Utah County Sheriff's Office says Tyler Robinson is being held in a special housing unit so staff can keep a close eye on him. Robinson will remain under enhanced supervision until he completes a mental health evaluation. That process could take several days. Authorities say while jail officials are unaware of any specific suicide comments from Robinson, he will continue to be watched by staff. Robinson is accused of killing the conservative political activist during Kirk's visit to Utah Valley University last Wednesday.
The 2 victims of Wednesday's shooting at a Colorado high school are still in the hospital. Officials believe the 16-year-old shooter was radicalized, but haven't said anything about a possible motive. Shalima Maharaj spoke with some experts about the line between regular internet exposure and when it turns troubling.
It just takes one video, one concept, one idea that catches somebody's attention.
Why?
That's the big question that's been on everyone's minds since Wednesday.
When a tragedy happens, we start putting all of these puzzle pieces together and we go, well, it's all right here.
9 News parenting expert Dr. Cheryl Ziegler is a mom to teens herself. She says there's a big difference between kids getting exposed to stories online and getting entrenched.
However, they start talking about even, let's say, conspiracy theories. They start bringing up, just sort of these sort of fringe ideas, and they're very interested in them, and they want to either talk about it or they want to debate or argue with you. That's really a sign to maybe start looking into what the content is that they are consuming online.
I think one thing that's pretty problematic is that the plans and manifestos and personal statements of past perpetrators are available in some of these spaces.
Clinical psychologist Dr. Rachel Nielsen says experts are seeing more radicalization in the years since COVID. And in Colorado, 9 News Investigates counted 13 school shootings in our state since the attack at Columbine High School 26 years ago.
And so through hate forums and websites and rhetoric, kids can find things that appeal to some of their own personal grievances.
She says parents shouldn't be afraid.
We need to talk early and often
of having tough conversations with their kids.
We're out of Pandora's box, right? So kids are going to be using the internet, so we need to teach them how to engage with it safely.
Dr. Nielsen says the most vulnerable people are those who feel isolated and alone. They don't have a strong sense of identity, and they tend to be angrier and more resentful of others.
A summit of world thinkers and music artists that examine the future of humanity and artificial intelligence has now wrapped up at the Vatican. The summit began on Friday and concluded on Saturday. It brought together a mixture of Nobel Prize winners and others to discuss a range of topics from farming to the economy to AI. The frontman for the musical group Black Eyed Peas, will.i.am, took part in the AI discussions. He's been involved with AI since 2012. The Vatican has discussed this issue before, and planning for this weekend's summit had started before Pope Francis died last April. The summit concluded with a historic concert in St. Peter's Square. American singer-songwriter Pharrell Williams directed the show. The concert also celebrated Italian tenor Andrea Bocelli. When we return, you'll get an entertainment update with Kathryn Mims. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Kathryn Mims with your entertainment update. The 77th Emmy Awards were handed out in Hollywood last night, with a trio of shows taking home the most trophies. Rick Damigella has the big winners in the Hollywood Minute.
And the Emmy goes to Adolescence.
British crime drama Adolescence was the big winner at the 77th Emmy Awards. The Netflix series won the Limited Anthology Series or Movie categories for Outstanding Series, Directing, Writing, Supporting Actor for Owen Cooper, Supporting Actress for Erin Doherty, and Lead Actor for Stephen Graham.
I'm just a mixed-race kid from a block of flats in a place called Kirby. So for me, to be here today in front of my peers and to be acknowledged by you is the utmost humbling thing I could ever imagine in my life.
Seth Rogen, The Studio.
In the comedy categories, The Studio was the big winner, taking home 4 Emmys, with Seth Rogen winning Lead Actor.
I've never won anything in my life. When I was a kid, I bought a used bowling trophy at an estate sale. And my parents were like, yeah, that's a good idea. You should probably buy that.
And returning to the stage for writing, directing, and outstanding comedy series.
It's getting embarrassing. I really appreciate it, in all honesty.
The Pit.
Medical drama The Pit won 3 Emmys for Outstanding Drama Series, Kathryn Lanasa winning Supporting Actress, and Noah Wiley for Lead Actor, marking his first Emmy win.
To anybody who's going on shift tonight or coming off shift tonight, thank you for being in that job. This is for you.
And the Emmy goes to The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Arguably the biggest standing ovation of the night went to The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and its win for Outstanding Talk Show.
Sometimes you only truly know how much you love something when you get a sense that you might be losing it.
And 10 years later, in September of 2025, my friends, I have never loved my country more desperately. God bless America. Stay strong, be brave, and if the elevator tries to bring you down, go crazy and punch a higher floor. Woo!
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
The world's most well-preserved Viking ship had to be relocated the length of a football field, and it took a whole decade to plan. Jeremy Roth explains in today's Take a Look at This.
And the Emmy goes.
Watch a 1,000-year-old Viking ship make a 115-yard journey over 10 hours, a move that's been in the making for over 10 years. Unearthed in 1904, the Oseberg was one of 3 Viking-era ships found in Norway, and according to the Museum of the Viking Age in Oslo, is the most well-preserved Viking ship in the world. But in 2012, museum officials discovered the ships were rapidly deteriorating due to humidity and subtle vibrations, and decided to move them to a brand new climate-controlled building. No easy feat, the move took 10 years of planning and the construction of a ceiling-mounted vibration-resistant crate to gingerly move the 71-foot vessel at a glacial pace. And they did, traveling at only 10 feet per hour. The hulking ship was slowly but surely moved into place in its first new home in nearly a century. Now the museum will turn its focus to relocating the remaining 2 even more delicate vessels. Another meticulously executed moving operation, or in this case, removing operation, was needed in Mexico City after a beverage truck fell through a collapsed sinkhole on a city street. No one was injured, but onlookers were aghast as the Jarritos branded truck fell rear first and continued to sink. Local officials said the likely culprit was a collapse in the aging drainage system. Emergency crews were able to eventually remove the truck from the hole and begin work on repairs to the street. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
The new Jaws, the exhibition, looks like it offers a shark-related bite of everything Jaws-related. The exhibit opened Wednesday at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures in Los Angeles. It features more than 200 artifacts from the film, some that have never been displayed to the public. The film is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. Jaws was re-released over the summer to honor the milestone, making $8.1 million last weekend at the box office. And that is all I have for you tonight. When we come back, you'll get a business consumer update from Jonny and Allison. I'm Kathryn Mims for your entertainment news, and you are watching Eagle Eye News at 6. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. Trump administration officials say an agreement has been reached with China to keep TikTok operational in the United States. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said a framework deal has been reached, and President Trump will meet with Chinese leader Xi Jinping Friday to finalize it. Bessent said the priority has been making sure the deal is fair for the Chinese and completely respect U.S. national security concerns. A bipartisan bill signed by former President Joe Biden last year banned TikTok in the U.S. unless its China-based owner, ByteDance, divested its stake in the U.S. assets of the social media company. However, President Trump put enforcement of the ban on hold several times.
China will continue investigating NVIDIA after a preliminary inquiry found the U.S. chip giant broke China's anti-monopoly law. NVIDIA makes processors that power artificial intelligence, which both China and the U.S. believe is crucial for national security. This comes as the world's 2 largest economic powers hold their 4th round of trade talks in Madrid. China's State Administration for Market Regulation said NVIDIA was found to have violated the terms of the conditional approval of its acquisition of an Israeli chip designer.
The U.S. Federal Reserve is expected to lower interest rates later this week. This would mark the first decline from the central bank since December. And for some, including President Donald Trump, the drop can't come soon enough. John Lornick reports.
The last time we kind of saw this was in the 1970s, and that playbook doesn't fit today because we are in a global supply chain.
The U.S. is getting hit with an economic double whammy.
While the cost of living keeps climbing, finding a job is more difficult.
When you still have the high inflation, which is still pretty sticky, and then you add the low growth, that's where we start to worry a little bit.
Consumer sentiment has dropped nearly 5% this month and is down 21% compared to September of 2024, according to preliminary results from a University of Michigan survey published Friday.
The economy really concerns me, affordability for people back home, and that's why the Working Families Tax Cut Act was so important, because I believe it will drive down costs.
Economic analysts say rising inflation and the Trump administration's tariffs are two of the main concerns for American households.
Half of older workers have nothing in the bank as they face retirement. You got a quarter of our seniors trying to get by on $15,000 a year or less.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics' latest data says consumer prices inched upward 0.4 points last month, pushing the annual inflation rate to 2.9%.
Consumers are, they don't, the real issue isn't if they're 3% or 10% inflation. Consumers are running away from that perception until it changes behavior.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm Allison Thomas.
And I'm Jonny Koeninger. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.